or dose limits, and we will provide an overview of how they are set. We'll also take a look at specific occupational dose limits. So, what is a threshold dose, and who is responsible for setting them? A threshold dose marks the maximum radiation dose before radiation begins to have an effect on biological response. In other words, for doses that are below the threshold dose, biological responses are not impacted by radiation. And above the threshold dose, they are affected. The Code of Federal Regulations establishes the threshold doses or dose limits for radiation workers. These limits are based on the recommendations of the International Commission on Radiological Protection, or ICRP, and the National Council on Radiation Protection, or NCRP. The total effective dose equivalent, or TEDE, for the whole body is 5,000 millirems, or 5 rems per year. We all learned this in our radiography programs. It is important to note that these are occupational dose limits and do not include radiation exposure that may be received from other sources, such as natural sources or undergoing a medical procedure. The NCRP routinely revises threshold doses. The Nuclear Regulatory Committee, or NRC, requires all the monitoring of radiation workers to ensure they do not exceed threshold doses. The International Council on Radiation Protection, mentioned briefly earlier, is an independent international organization that's dedicated to improving radiation protection sciences and practices. It provides recommendations and guidance on protection from ionizing radiation. In 2007, the ICRP significantly revised its 1991 recommendations on dose limits, which can be found in publication 60, with new thresholds, which can be found in publication 103. And in 2011, it lowered its recommendations for the lifetime I dose threshold from 2,000 millisieverts to 500 millisieverts, and the annual occupational dose threshold from 150 millisieverts to 20 millisieverts, averaged over a 5-year period, and with a maximum of 50 millisieverts per year. Here we see the National Radiation Council occupational dose limits for different parts of the body and for the whole body. For the whole body, 5,000 millirems per year, or 5 rems per year. Any organ, 50,000 millirems per year. As a member of the public, 100 millirems per year. And when we look at the embryo or fetus of an occupational worker, it is 500 millirems per year.